just people's lives at stake. Like truly, their lives and their money are at stake.
When is the boomer? You know we cooking.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk. If you are interested in entrepreneurship, wealth building, and just overall leveling up and keeping it real, this channel is for you. So go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification button because we have a lot of exciting topics, informative topics coming your way. So with that being said, let's talk. Today, guys, we are going to be talking all things real estate. We have the lovely Shonnie Alridge of Trinity First Real Estate Services. Shonnie is an Atlanta native, so she knows Atlanta like the back of her hand, honey. So this is who you need to call, you guys. If you need anything real estate related, call Shonnie. She has her own real estate company. She's the owner and the broker. She has a real estate school. So she teaches this, y'all. She's about this life, okay? Thank you so much, Shonnie, for coming on. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for that nice introduction. I'm so happy to be here. It takes one
Yes.
to know your dynamic as well.
Yes, and I just wanted to talk about, so me and Shonnie connected a few months ago this year, right? Child, so I was
Yes.
on my phone, I was on the computer, and we're both in the WeBank, the Women's Business Council.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just, one day I was so frustrated. I'm like, look, I'm about to call every woman on this list and connect with whoever wants to connect. And I got the friendly voice of Shonnie on the other end. And we've been kind of staying in touch on social media ever since then. I just want to jump right into it.
Okay.
Into just the home buying process of like a first time home buyer. Why is it important to buy a home?
That's a good question because, we're always talking about, home purchase, owning real estate. We're hearing it a lot more lately, owning real estate, owning real estate. But what does that look like? What is that about? And so I think the one thing that I can say that's going to really grab everyone's attention is that it really builds wealth. And what I mean by that is, when you think about things that you own, what you're worth, what are your assets, you know? And so for a lot of people, their asset is a actual home. And so that is the whole idea. When you're renting, and renting is fine, we've all rented. So that's fine, but when you're renting, you don't own it. When you own a home, you're able to one day sell it and make some money from the equity, or you're able to perhaps rent it out, so now you're making money from making it an income producing property. So I think that the one thing that everyone will hear is that, oh, wealth, oh, I can be worth
Right.
more, oh, asset, yeah.
Right. And that's very interesting because I've always been told from just other people in that wealth building starts with real estate.
Yes, yes, it does. And when I teach the home buyer workshops, I say to people like, I don't care what you purchase. I don't care if it's a piece of land that was a couple of $1,000s. I don't care. I just want you to be able to say you own something. I don't care what that is. I don't care how big of it, how big the land is, how much it costs you, but for you to be able to say that, you own it, you're working on, paying it off, and you'll be the sole owner instead of, financing it.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear and really encourage people to do,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so many people, everybody wants to buy a home. Everybody, I always have friends or relatives that's just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a home or I'm gonna do this next
Yeah.
year. But nobody knows where to start. It's an idea, but it's like, where do I
Yes.
start? So what should a first time home buyer that's really interested in purchasing, like what steps should they be taking now to get to that point?
And that's a great question as well, and I find myself answering the same questions over and over again. So when I'm speaking to, a potential client, and they're asking me the same questions, it's amazing. When I'm teaching at, home buyer seminars and workshops, it's the same questions. And so I'm actually, getting my information together to kind of put it out there and release it. So I'll be releasing a series of information that are some questions, some frequently asked questions. So I'll be releasing that the top of the year via YouTube. But the first thing you want to think about when you say, "Hey, I want to purchase a home," you want to first make sure your credit is together, because a lot of us are not buying our homes cash. We're financing it. And so we want to know, what is our, credit score, because you're going to be asking a perfect stranger, a bank, to allow you to borrow $250,000. And while they're fine with doing that, they don't know you. So
Right.
they're going to judge you based on, they'll give you the money, but they need to make sure that you can manage your money and your credit score reflects that you can manage money or not. So I would say first thing is find out what your score is, right? And then after that, you want to identify a real estate agent. You want to identify agents. So first, let's figure out, hey, what's your credit score? Because now you have an idea. Then you want to identify a real estate agent that can then guide you, to the
Okay.
next steps. Yes, step after step.
Right. That's very interesting. And
Mhm.
we're gonna have all of Shawnee's information below so you can stay in contact with her and really stay on top of those frequently asked questions so she can really give you the game. Because we're giving you she's dropping gems tonight, but she's really gonna be dropping it on her channel and on her
Yeah.
social media outlets. So we're definitely gonna have that information below. So, and my next question for you, what is the current market? Like, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? You hear so much on the news and you don't know what to believe. Like, are we going into another recession? Like, what is going on?
Yeah. And it's funny because, in real estate, it's a cycle, honestly. And it just depends on what side you're on. And when I say what side, meaning are you the seller or the buyer? And
Mm-hmm.
so right now, I believe that it's both a buyer's and a seller's market. So I'll explain. It's the seller's market because there isn't a whole lot of inventory. However, there are a lot of buyers. So the seller is able to leverage that. So the seller may say, well, we have 15 plus offers on this particular home, and we're going to, ask for a highest and best. So now we're going to drive the buyers into pushing themselves to a higher price point of what they want to purchase. So
Right.
you may have come in and said, I'll, offer, 250, but when they call for highest and best, they're going to be asked, you may push it up to 240 just so you can beat out the next purchaser.
Right.
So that's the seller's market. However, it's a buyer's market too, because the interest rates are so low.
Mm,
Like we've never seen this before.
right.
And so there was one point in time where interest rates were double digits.
Right.
And so now we're talking about 2.5. So that's advantageous for, a buyer. Now you're able to qualify for more because your rate is lower. So, I feel like it's both. Both people
Right.
can benefit, within this market, this real estate market right now. And so I don't know, like, I've been reading articles and talking to, my colleagues in the industry and just asking the question, like, what do you foresee happening in the future?
Right.
And, because we're in this pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
the reality is people are going to lose their home. They're unable to pay their mortgage. And so what happens is the bank takes it back as collateral. So now, it's a bank owned home and it could be back on the market at some point as a foreclosure. And so, that can impact the market too. But then it could be advantageous for buyers because now they're buying the homes with lower interest rates and they're buying a foreclosure, which may be priced lower.
Right.
So yeah, so we'll see what 21 has to offer. We always see the market always kind of does a little dance for us when
Yeah.
we are, electing a new president and things like that. So
That's
we'll
what I'm
see.
interested to see because I was thinking,
Hmm.
like you said, it's so many different, views on it or what's going to
Yeah.
happen. And is it like, are we going to see what happened in like 2008, 2009, where it was like all
Whew.
of these foreclosures and short sales? Like, I
Yeah.
hope not, because that was very sad. But, like, we just don't know what we're walking into. Hopefully things are going to
No.
get a lot better since we have a new president now.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. It's just one thing about real estate is that, our economy, really depends on real estate. If
Hmm.
our real estate market is impacted in any kind of way, you're gonna see it in every other sector. So
Right.
we have to make sure that our real estate market is strong. And that's one reason why the rates are so low. If the rates were higher, you wouldn't have as many people that were interested in purchasing a home.
Right.
The excitement now was like, whoa, 2.5%. Like,
So
let me
now is
refinance
the
my home or
time.
buy a home. Yeah, it is. If you can, people who are in the educational institution, they're still employed,
Yeah.
educators and, first responders, they're still employed. So they are really in a good position because they still have their job so they can,
Right.
qualify to purchase.
So now is the time, guys, because that interest rate makes a big
Ooh,
difference. It can save you
so good.
thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. What would you say is the most challenging part of buying a home?
You know,
And just
and
that
I tell
process.
my,
I'm sorry.
yep, no, that's fine. I tell my clients this all the time because, it is what it is. The financial portion is the most irritating because, for one, if you're a private person, you have someone asking you all these personal questions about your money.
Hmm.
And you're like, you know what?
Right.
And wow, you're really asking a lot of questions and, you really need all this supporting documentation. And, I'm at work, I don't have time to get it to you. That's frustrating,
Right.
because you need it right away, or because time is truly of the essence when you're in that transaction process. And so, you know, I would say, just to kind of forewarn, the audience, don't let that deter you. you know it's just a part of the process.
Right.
You're asking someone to borrow $250,000. They need to figure out, who you are. They don't know you, so they need to figure out who you are. So they need to see the paycheck stubs, and you need to update that every so often. They need to see those taxes. They want to know why you have lump sum of cash you deposited in your account, and it's completely legitimate, but they want to know, where did that come from.
Right.
They want to know about divorce, decree, all those different things they need to know so they can, go ahead and approve you so you can accomplish your goal with owning your home. But that financing portion,
Right.
that's
And we don't like to
that's the
talk
part
about
like,
our coins, child. We don't. We do not like to talk about y'all. We got to get over that to get to the other side, and we talk about that all the time on the channel. It's a marathon. It's not a race.
oh yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I mean? You got to take your time, and it's going to be a little difficult, but the reward is going to be so much bigger. But
Hmm.
they gonna have to know what's going on in the pockets, y'all. Just to get there, and that's just keeping it real. So thank
Yeah.
you so much. These were a lot of good gems. And also, before we close, what made you get into the real estate industry and just have such a passion for it? Because you're an expert. Like, I follow you, girl. I be stalking your page, and you out there closing deals, and your clients really love you. So, like, what made you just grasp on to real estate?
That's a funny story. I was in college, and my mother, who's my mentor, and she's the founder of the company. She was like, it was during the summer, and I didn't take any classes that summer. So she was like, you should go ahead and get your real estate license. And when I was younger, I would ride around with her in the car, as she met her clients and things like that. And we go to old houses together. So I was kind of being groomed and didn't even realize it when I was younger. So when I got to college and she was like, go ahead and get your real estate license this summer, I was like, okay, but that's not what I'm going to school for. Like, but I'll go ahead and do it. And once I got licensed, I just, I was in college, but I was still telling everyone, hey, I have my real
Right.
estate license. Do you want to, buy a home? So I'm a college student, promoting myself as a real estate agent too. And so
Wow.
I just kind of, once I had my first deal, and it was a friend of mine, a mother, she bought a home, and that was my first deal. And I was like, I like this. I like that she's so happy. I like that I was a part of that. And so just helping people to get to that point in their lives, it's just such a great feeling to, to experience that with them. And I get to, make new friends and acquaintances and meet so many different people and have a flexible schedule. So there are a lot of things about this career path that, I really enjoy. And, and being able to do it with my mother as well is, been a huge blessing too.
Yes, that's amazing. That's a good story. So you've been, look, she's not new to this. She true to this. So you've been hustling since college. That's impressive. That's very
Yeah, yeah.
impressive. That's very inspiring. And I know I said I wanted to close with that, but it made me want to ask you one more thing because it's so interesting. What would you say to aspiring real estate agents or someone that
Mhm,
has just been really slacking and just always wanted to get their real estate license?
mhm,
What advice
mhm.
would you give them, or what would you tell them to just take the first step?
You know, I whenever someone tells me, "Hey, I'm going to go get my real estate license," I just tell them to go for it because I'm never the one to say, "Well, I don't know," because there's ups and downs to this career, right? It's not always, I'm not always dressed like this.
Right.
So sometimes it's a business, so it has its ups and downs, its highs and lows. But I would say that when you decide to be a real estate agent and you're serious about this, you have to understand that you are being of service.
Yes.
It's a service industry. So this is not a street hustle. This
Mm,
is not just something you on the side.
right.
You got to take it seriously so your clients can know that you're completely engaged and they're going to be taken care of,
Yes.
because it's people's lives at stake. Like truly, their lives and their money are at stake. And
Right.
so if you're treating it very lightly, that's questionable. So I would say, understand that you're being of service.
Mm-hmm.
The money will come. And, you have to have a lot of patience. You have to know how to demonstrate patience, and take good care of people as if it was you. How would you want to be treated?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, that's wonderful, Shonnie. You guys, click the links below to get in touch with Shonnie, y'all. Because it is hard.
Yes, please.
Service and customer service is, to me, I do not play about customer service. Like I don't even want to get into a story, but I'm a really good customer. So I'll, really patronize someone. And then once I get bad customer service, no matter how good it is, I'm just out. I kind of check out of it. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a word. Customer service is key. Customer
Hmm.
service is key. So thank you so
It
much,
is.
Shonnie, for coming on
You are welcome.
and dropping gems. I have enjoyed it. It was so interesting. Hopefully you'll come back on and give us some more information. Like I
Oh,
said, drop
absolutely.
the links below. So you guys, if you need to get in contact with her, if you want to buy a home, sell your home, Trinity Realty Services.
We are here for you. Absolutely. Definitely reach out to us, and, we'll take good care of you, and wishing everyone the best and continue to stay healthy. And as we fight through this pandemic.
Yes, the new normal.
Yeah.
Put your mask on and stay at home, y'all. Y'all can Zoom the first meeting. Everything's good. So thank you so much, guys. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and click your notifications because, like I said, if you enjoyed this, you are really going to enjoy what's to come. And we'll be seeing Shonnie soon. Thank you so much. I'm Jessie. I'm signing
Absolutely.
out. And thank you so much, Shonnie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.